President Haas, Board of Trustees, faculty, staff, family, friends, and graduates. Good evening to all of you. I've had the great fortune of attending numerous GVS youth functions over the years, but never a Grand Valley commencement. It is my pleasure to join all of you on this tremendous occasion. And while it might be my first Lakers commencement, it is one of the last for our beloved T. Haas as president. Tom, it has been a blessing to get to know you and Marcia over the years, first as acquaintances and now as good friends. You're both truly wonderful people who mean so much to Grand Valley and West Michigan. Thank you for all you've done to grow this amazing university. We'll miss you in this role, but know that you have worked hard to set the school on a path for future success. This is not goodbye, but until our paths cross again. Now to the graduates. This is really all about you, and rightly so. It's about your hopes and dreams. It's about the hard work and dedication that has brought you to this point. I'm sure you and your families are reliving in your minds many of those past experiences right now. And I'm just as sure that you'll receive some advice in recent days about the road ahead. Words of wisdom that will guide you forward as you step out into the world as a college graduate and pursue what's next. If I may, I'd like to offer a bit of my own advice, and it's pretty straightforward. Do what you love. Have you ever heard the saying that if you do what you love, you'll never work a day in your life? Google lists a variety of people who have said this over the years, and it's catchy too. It even fits nicely on a social media post and seems like something you'd see on Instagram. There's only one problem. The never working part isn't completely true, but doing what you love is still the best path, and here's the reason why. The great thing about doing what you love is even when you have a rough day or work long hours, when work feels like work, your foundation is strong because the core reason for your work is still positive. You're doing what you love. When I was 15, I started working in a women's clothing store, and I absolutely loved it. I knew fashion and the arts were the things I loved, and I was certain my future self would someday focus in this area. Fast forward more than 25 years, I was in my 40s, life was good, married my high school sweetheart, had wonderful children, a business degree that I'd put to good use in public relations field, but I knew now or never was my professional passion, designing clothes. Started out my company, Pamella Rowland, in New York City, as a 40-something in fashion is far from easy. There were many bumps in the road, 2 steps forward, 1 step back. But what made the tough times not so tough was my passion for my work. And that remains true today. We still put in long hours, work over holidays, and are away from home often. But the passion for the work makes the challenges not as significant and makes the good times great and long-lasting. That's where the beauty of doing what you love comes into play. The passion for what you're doing can drive you through the tough times, and that drive will set you apart from the rest and put your work on top. Many others have talked about the value of loving what you do as well. We can't all be wrong. In a graduation ceremony almost 15 years ago, Apple co-founder Steve Jobs said, "Your work is going to fill a large part of your life. The only way to be truly satisfied is to do what you believe is great work. And the only way to do great work is to love what you do." His words still ring true today. LL Cool J said it was more to the point when he said, "Do what you love, you'll be better at it." So spend some time thinking about it, not just today, but most days. Your degree is a great thing that has set you up for success. But remember that your degree is a launching pad, not a predetermined path for life. You can leverage that degree and advance in ways that grows with you as your dreams evolve. That's what makes an education so valuable. No matter where you go or what you do, it's always with you and will frame how you look at the world. Take it from a woman who waited a few decades to follow her professional dream in fashion. You can do it, whatever it is. The world awaits you, and we're excited to see all you accomplish as you turn those passions into careers. Congratulations to all of you, and best wishes in your future.
Good evening, President Haas, Board of Trustees, faculty, staff, family and friends, and of course, graduates. It is my honor to stand before you this evening, the culmination of so much, and the start of something even greater. I want to start with a story that serves as an example of a broader message, a message that has been helpful to me and something that might offer some inspiration to you as well. The story is several years old, but I think the message rings true today. It's about my dad, Rich DeVos, who was asked to give an address similar to this one, not too far from here. Dad loved a good celebration, and what better celebration could there be than a graduation? So he was very honored to join. When he arrived that day, he was surprised at the mood of some of the people in the audience. You see, some thought it was a lousy time to be adventuring into the world, starting a new career, or seeking an advanced degree. The nation was in recession. Some companies were reconsidering investments and so forth. Lousy timing was nonsense to Dad. A child of the Great Depression and a man who had started a few businesses in his day, some of which failed, but one that finally took off. Dad called himself a cheerleader because he was determined to seize the day and encourage others to do so. So he approached the stage that night and went on a quest to challenge each and every one there to go for it, to dream big, to take a risk, to make it happen. As Dad would do, he openly questioned the naysayers, proudly stating that now is the best time, as it's the only time you have. People who wait for the best time never find that time. There's always an excuse, a reason to wait for another day. He spoke of outlook, positivity, and ultimately happiness. The mood in the room shifted as Dad spoke passionately, painting a new picture of what is possible. Times are very different today than when Dad made that speech, right? We're not in a recession. Many say that the economy has never been better. Jobs are plentiful, wages are rising, and our community perhaps has never been as vibrant. So why the focus on that story? I concentrate there because the outside environment constantly changes and shouldn't determine your mindset or your future. The greatest power is in your state of mind. No matter if the economy is up or down, if it is beautiful outside or you're in the middle of a polar vortex, what's important is how you look at the world. The famous football coach, Lou Holtz, used to say, and you've probably heard this, life is 10% what happens to you and 90% how you respond to it. Mindset is so important, yet it isn't something that we teach. In fact, much of how we're wired is somewhat counterproductive. For example, many of the things that we think brings success, is successful, brings us happiness, but logically, it is flawed. You think that if you get an A on a test, you'll be happy. If you get a certain GPA, graduate, get a certain job or car or house, you'll be happy. But the reality is the goal line is always changing for success. So it's a poor indicator of outlook and certainly for happiness. The opposite is actually true. Happiness, a positive outlook, breeds success. Research by Harvard's Sean Acor chronicles how a positive outlook actually improves your chances for success, and the connection is strong. When people are happy, their creativity triples, productivity increases by 31%, and people are 40% more likely to be promoted. The research is impressive, and it gets to the root of what Dad was saying years ago. Environment and even your genes are not the determining factor of who you are and who you will become. Behavior and outlook are powerful. Abraham Lincoln said that folks are usually about as happy as they make up their minds to be. And I think that's absolutely true. So whether you're young like many of you or not so young like me, time will never be better than it is now. And that will be true today, tomorrow, next week, and next year. The ability to see now is the best time, and to feel that confidence deep inside you is critically important. It will allow you to push through with a positive nature and a can-do spirit, directly or indirectly challenging the naysayers as Dad did several years ago. I realize how fortunate I have been in my life to have been raised by two overwhelmingly positive people, individuals who face challenges like the rest of us, but were able to shake off the negative, dust themselves off when they fell, and move forward, smarter and more determined because of it. My wife Pamela is much the same way. She is someone who sees opportunity where others see challenges, a person who is determined to succeed and help others along the way. Some will look at them as lucky, like they were that way from birth, not realizing that it takes hard work and dedication to become a steady, positive voice in the world. We all can do it, and we can all start small, thinking about the best thing to happen today instead of the worst, spending time recognizing those who had the most positive influence on you instead of someone who did not. It makes a difference. So if I can leave you with one piece of advice today, it is this: look at the positive. Sometimes it may be difficult to see, but it is there. The lesson learned, the memory that will guide you, the error that will steer you to a better place. Harness that energy and turn it into good, then act. It has certainly helped me. Some of my greatest failures, and don't let anybody fool you, we all have them. Some of my greatest failures actually have been my greatest accomplishments. They have set the stage for moving forward, and part of the reason they did is because I was willing to look for the positive. So now, think positive. Go out there and do great things. Remember, now is the best time. Congratulations.